I don't regret dumping you. My mother doesn't regret dumping her own daughter. My parents sneered and said so. It was an unexpected reunion. They dumped me as if it were nothing when I was 10 years old. It's been 10 years. They suddenly came up to me. They weren't really happy to see me again. More like, they still look down on me. I'm sincerely grateful for them for dumping me. I'm Kelly. I'm 23 years old now. I live with my mom's younger sister. There's a complicated situation as to why I left my own parents and started living with her. Not left them. I should say they left me. That's when I was 10 years old. My father was running a company. He graduated from a top-notch university. My mother graduated from the same university and was passionate about education. They both loved my older brother so much. He was an honor student. He was the smartest kid in the school. He was literally a genius. He lived up to their expectations. He was expected to succeed his father. He was expected so much. I was the complete opposite. For some reason, I wasn't good at studying. I dropped out of school. Kelly, you are such an idiot. I remember my mother telling me that many times. She always called me a failure. She always disrespected me on a daily basis. She was hurting me with her disrespecting words. My father was on her side too. He also told me to do better on a daily basis. Even for my older brother. They both flattered him how smart he was. But he looked down on me. When he got into a top-notch high school, where a lot of students get into the best universities, they both were over the moon. In contrast, when I was still 10 years old, I can't forget how much they disrespected me. Your brother was the smartest in the school when he was at your age. But look at you, you're always the dumbest. I have no idea how you turned out to be such an idiot. They both blamed me for getting bad scores on the tests. I'm originally not smart. Even I understood that back then. But I was always getting berated, unlike my brother. I completely lost motivation to study hard. At this rate, you won't even be able to get into a regular high school. If that happens, you'll be a shame to our family. Before that happens, I need to think about it. A failure like you shouldn't be a part of us. She didn't even care about me. She was just stating her thoughts on me. When I heard her words, I thought they gave up on me. I realized that. But what does she need to think about? I couldn't understand the true meaning of her words back then. But after a while, I realized the meaning. One day, they called me to the living room. They were sitting on a couch awkwardly. When I sat down, my mother started talking. Kelly, we decided to get you out of our house. Huh? Getting out? What do you mean? I was spacing out by the unexpected words. She continued talking. We don't need you anymore. Live with my younger sister. I was told that she doesn't need me in person. She clearly said that. I was watching my father looking away. He must be thinking the same thing as her. Her words made me cry instantly. How can they dump me when I was still 10 years old? I couldn't stand how cold they were. She told me to live with her younger sister, but what does that mean? My younger sister hasn't still found her partner. She's still single in her 40s. So she might take care of you as if you were her true daughter. That's good for you. You found a place you can fit in. Even though I was still a kid, I could understand how rude she was. Not only to me, but also to my aunt. It's true that she's still single in her 40s, but my mother doesn't have any rights to say anything about it. She felt pitiful of her younger sister still being single. She decided to give me to her. I was honestly impressed by how selfish she was. I already told her about this. She said she'll welcome you. So get out now. Apparently, I'm supposed to get out. I didn't even have the strength or right to reject it. I didn't have any choice but to rely on her younger sister. A few days later, I was taken away to her. My parents just said they'll be counting on her. They left as soon as possible. They dumped me at that moment. While I was watching them leaving, I swore to God that I'll never even see them again. She took good care of me. Kelly, it must have been tough for you. It's fine now. Let's live a good life together. She promised that she'll take care of me. I managed to get a place to survive. My parents asked her for something ridiculous. It was unbelievable, even for her. But she knew how I was mistreated by them, and she was determined to take good care of me. Kelly, regard me as your mom from now on. I felt like I was saved by her words. From that day, we started to live together. She worked for a company as an office worker, but she even started to work a part-time job for me. And she cherished me as if I was her real daughter. I graduated from elementary school and middle school thanks to her. As I got into an online school, I started to work simultaneously. It sure was tough, but not enough to make me want to give up. My parents looked down on me. They taught me how incapable I was every day. Compared to those days, it was miles better. If I had kept on living with them, I had no idea what I would have become. I do regret getting abandoned by them, but this new life made me positive. I think I became a woman who knows how it feels to be hurt. I kept living like that, and it's been 10 years now. One day, I was commuting to the office. My work time is in the night, so I go to the office while seeing beautiful illuminations on the way, on a daily basis. Then, as I was about to enter the office, I heard someone calling my name. "Oh, so you're working for a place like this, huh?" I could instantly recognize the voice. As I turned around, there were my parents standing. It's been 10 years since I last saw them. "What's up suddenly? What do you want?" As I asked her, she started to speak up to me. "I didn't expect you to be working as a hostess. That means you must have been poor for all these years." That makes me laugh. "Yes, I work at a hostess bar. I've started to work since I was 18. Just in 2 years, I became the most popular hostess. I don't know who told them about that, but they knew about it." "I didn't know you were such a skank." "Well, that's within my expectations. What's so fun about working as a hostess?" My father sneered while she was saying that to me. Apparently, they waited for me, just to disrespect me like this. Is this what you do to your own daughter? Even though it's been 10 years, they haven't changed at all. Just to disrespect me, they came to see me. I told her that she must have nothing to do with her life. Then she denied it strongly. "What are you saying? Are you trying to speak up to me? We've been over the moon ever since then." She said that everything's been great since they left me. My older brother graduated from a famous university and got into his dad's company. Apparently his company is going well as usual. She said so as if I was an intruder, and as if I was making them unhappy. She was bragging about it, and I don't regret dumping you at all. Rather than that, your life and everything is within my expectations, and it's making me laugh. I knew you would fail. I was right to give up on you so early. She doesn't regret dumping her own daughter. But now, I'm not sad or hurt at all anymore. I was the one who should be grateful for being separated from them so early. My pleasure. Thank you for dumping me. I don't remember anything good about us, but I appreciate you about that." I left the sincere words to them, and I walked past them. "Huh? Why are you so cocky now?" I could hear the voice of my mother, but I didn't even give a crap about her and entered the bar. And I started to do my job as usual. What a disappointment. It's been 10 years since I last saw them, but I'm not even surprised that they haven't changed a bit. though I didn't care so much. I forgot the past quickly and started to do my job. It's been 3 years since that day now. I opened my own cafe. I located my cafe where you can overlook the beautiful ocean. It's something that my aunt and I have dreamt of for so many years. Ever since I have started to live with her, we struggled together. Then we set our goal as opening our own cafe. We worked really hard to make that dream come true. The reason I was working as a hostess was to save up enough to open one. It wasn't because I was extremely poor as my parents thought. It was to make our dream come true. I had planned everything before I even started working. The reason I became the most popular hostess was because I was motivated for the future. That was just a result. Then, 3 months later, when my aunt and I were getting ready for the opening, they appeared. Yes, my parents that abandoned me. It's been a while. I heard you were about to open a cafe around here. She said that as soon as she saw me. She was glaring at us while we were getting ready. It's quite neat. I heard you were doing well, right? You can do it if you try hard. You must have worked so hard. She suddenly started to flatter me. I don't remember her flattering me in my whole life. I was surprised by her, but I didn't have any plans to get along with them. I told them to leave as soon as possible. Then she looked kind of rushed and said, "Hey, don't ignore me. I came all the way just to see you. Why don't you listen to me at least?" They said so and was standing still. I couldn't stand it anymore and quietly opened my mouth. "The reason why you came here. I know it. You came to get some money from me, right?" It looked like they really did. I kept on saying, "I heard your company went bankrupt, right?" "Hey, how did you know that?" I knew my dad's company went bankrupt. I heard it from my relatives. His company's careless management resulted in a downturn, and he had to shut it down in the end. I knew it. It was a mistake that you assumed I didn't know about it. You're the one who abandoned me, saying I'm a failure. You were just underestimating me. In their heads, they still saw me as that little girl from 10 years ago. They came here to ask for help. How foolish they are. Listen, Kelly, we're struggling this much. Why don't you give me your hand a little bit at least? We're mother and daughter, right? Look who's talking. I was at a loss for words. They easily abandoned me when I was 10 years old. Did they forget about doing that? Even when we saw each other 3 years ago, they were as cold as they were before. But now they're just paying for what they've done. Why would I have to help them? You're not my mother, but my aunt is. I don't have anything more to say to strangers. I don't have to help you at all. You're cutting us off, so please go away now. I clearly told them that I have nothing to do with them anymore, but they were so stubborn. They tried to stay there. And then I heard a sharp voice from the side. "Knock it off already. Aren't you embarrassed? Kelly and I are running this cafe here now and living peacefully. We have nothing to do with you anymore. Go away already." She always stays calm, but she looked very upset. She doesn't have any plans to help them at all, like me. Even for her, they suddenly pushed their daughter to her. She's been furious about it for all these years. It was the right moment to get back. We scared the crap out of them and they couldn't do anything anymore. They left without saying anything. After that, since my parents and older brother lost their company, they tried to rely on me, but I rejected it, so they really had no choice. They're heavily in debt. They all work full-time every day. They don't have any other option. They disrespected me and abandoned me easily. Now they're paying for what they've done. And the cafe my aunt and I opened has been great since we opened it. Some of my customers I had when I was a hostess came to my cafe and it's really going great. I struggled and worked so hard to get my precious cafe. I'm determined to keep it with my aunt.